Florida Democrats are demonstrating today in Washington. They're protesting the fact that their primary votes are not being counted and their delegates won't be seated at the August convention in Denver. In fact, some protesters are so upset they're threatening to throw a big old monkey wrench into the Democrats' plans this summer.
We will shut down the convention.
If the Florida delegation is not seated, we will march on Denver. We'll take all the buses ready to go to Denver. And we will shut that convention down before it gets started.
Wow, that was loud. MSNBC's congressional correspondent Mike Vaquera, he's on Capitol Hill. Pretty safe to say these folks are not happy, huh?
Yeah, they were right outside in the street outside the Democratic National Committee headquarters here in Washington, just a couple of blocks south of the Capitol. A lot of angry Floridians, Alex. I'd say there were about 100, maybe 150 of them. They were bussed up here by an Hispanic advocacy group called LULAC to stage this protest in front of the DNC, and protest they did. First chanting, "We want our vote to count," over and over again as speaker after speaker took the podium. Now, a lot of people suspected, as I did as I walked down to cover this thing, that it was perhaps arranged by the Clinton campaign because, of course, as you know, 3.2 million Floridians voted in that primary back in February, 1.7 of them being Democrats, and Hillary Clinton came out on top, although neither of the top candidates, Senator Obama or Senator Clinton, actively campaigned in the state. So many people believe that Hillary Clinton, especially the Clinton backers here in Congress, that she should get the lion's share of those delegates. But everybody I talked to there was much more focused on the question of right and wrong as opposed to Clinton and Obama. They feel as though they're being disenfranchised. They demanded that Howard Dean, the chairman of the DNC, show up out there on the street to address them. Howard Dean was out of town. They got a press secretary, Mr. Luis Miranda, spoke to them and promised them that they would, in fact, be seated in some fashion at the Democratic Convention this summer in Denver. He was greeted with shouts of how and when. These people not mollified, very angry, motivated enough to come up here from Florida and stage this protest today outside the DNC, Alex.
So then, Mike, I mean, you know the inner workings of things. Is the scuttlebutt out there on Capitol Hill that something will be worked out and the delegates from both Florida and Michigan will get seated in Denver?
It's really proving to be something of an intractable problem, and part of the reason is that the predicate for any agreement has to be that not only do the state delegations have to agree, the state party officials in Michigan and Florida respectively, but so do the candidates in question. And that is a very high bar. It's been mentioned over the last few days on First Read, MSNBC's political blog, and elsewhere that Michigan is now inching a little bit closer to some kind of arrangement. They're trying to split the baby on this thing, perhaps give a few more of the delegates as the latest proposal to Senator Clinton. Meanwhile, in Florida, where Senator Obama, in Michigan, he wasn't even on the ballot. And in Florida, neither of the candidates' campaign had pledged not to campaign in accordance with Democratic National Committee wishes. There does not seem to be much headway at all. It seems to be a very intractable problem. And as we get closer to that Denver convention for the Democrats, it only promises to get more valuable as time goes on, Alex.
Okay, Mike Vaquera, thank you very much as always.